One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. I was thinking about something today, and I know a lot of people may not agree with me on this, and they may have their own thoughts on this, but this is my perspective. You know what I'm saying? The way I see things. Some of you may agree, some of you may not agree, but it's still my perspective. I look around at and what I see is that number one, there's an attack on masculinity today. There's a huge attack on masculinity. And when you destroy masculinity, you destroy the foundation of any society, of any household, of anything. You destroy that foundation because who's going to defend it? We got this false sense that women can defend it. They can't. I know we got all these guns, we got weapons, we got all these type of things, but I mean, look, man, in reality, that don't mean anything. If you catch a woman off guard, there's no way in the world she's gonna be able to overpower the man and be able to do anything. It's got to be a situation where she already knows it's coming, where she can be ahead of the game and be prepared for what's about to happen. But most times you catch her off guard, no matter how skilled she is, just by brute strength, men are gonna overpower her in most cases. So that's just the reality of the situation. And we can try to play these games and make people feel good and say all these feel good things, which, hey, whatever. I'm not against it. If you want to fill a person's head up to make them feel important, go right ahead. But the truth of the matter is, um, most women cannot defend themselves against most men. That's just not the reality. But if you take away the male, then you have to convince women that it's you have to convince them that they'll be safe and that they can take care of themselves, they can do X, Y, and Z. And in most cases they will be because men have made the world so safe. And all they gotta do is call the police, which is most likely gonna be a man, mostly men showing up. But anyway, I say all that to get to as men we gotta get back to being men again. We gotta stop being weak. See, strong men take accountability. Weak men shift the blame. You know what I'm saying? As a strong man, you got to be accountable because you can't be shifting the blame, pointing the fingers at somebody else. That's not how the game goes. If you are a strong man, you stand in the gap and you don't point the finger and say, well, they did this or it's because of this person did that. No, you just take responsibility for yourself and where you stand, not point the finger at someone else. It doesn't make you look strong because you did that. You know you had a part in it. You know you participated. So you need to go ahead and man up and just be honest about it and stop being a weakling. There's too many of us weak out here today, which is why society is the way it is, because you've been convinced to be ashamed of being masculine, accountable man. So what? People don't like you. When I say that, I mean it in the most sincere way. What I mean is, if you're doing what's right, you can't be worried about people not liking you or who gonna say what about you, who gonna call you this and say you're that. So what? That's a shaming tactic that they use, even though people don't want to be shamed, but they're gonna shame you. Men are the only expendable people on the planet. Women are not expendable, and children are not expendable. But you as a man are expendable, and you're gonna be expendable, and you're gonna be you're gonna not be accountable. How you gonna be both of those? How you gonna be expendable and not be accountable? Be accountable because you're gonna be expendable if it comes down to it. You're gonna be expected to do that, and you're not gonna stand in your spot and stand firm in it and hold it down like you're supposed to. You're gonna allow someone else to tell you who you are and tell you this and shame you into these things or act in certain ways. You're gonna let that happen? You're absolutely out of your mind if that's what you do. You're out of your mind if that's what you do as a man. As a man, you stand firm in your beliefs, you stand on your principles, and you don't change and bend a fold for no one. And if you're watching this and your daddy ain't never told you, I'm telling you. You got to stand firm. And you can't bend the fold because you expected to be a leader. The reason why you see all this stuff going on out here in the world today, you see women acting the way they act, children acting the way they act, because the fathers ain't being a father. This used not be a thing. Because fathers was being fathers. I don't care if you're in the household or not in the household. You don't let nobody tell you what you're gonna do, and you don't let nobody just let your child get out of control. Because in the end, you're gonna be the one responsible. They're gonna blame it on you. They're gonna say it's because you wasn't there is why. Even though you had nothing to do with influencing that child, you had nothing to do with that child's upbringing whatsoever, but you still gonna be to blame. So if you're gonna be to blame, you better get control of the situation no matter where you live, and no matter where they live. It's time to be accountable. It's time to be accountable. No more of this nonsense. That's a problem right now. Not enough accountability at all. We just pointing the finger at somebody else, expecting somebody else to do our job. Nobody's going to do our job for us, but us. Keep that in mind. Start being accountable. Start being a stand-up guy, and stop being a pushover, and stop letting people tell you what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to do it and how you're supposed to act. You're a man. Be one.